Welcome all of you to episode 2 of YCA Age. This is something different because we have talked about general business, if you use that term at all. But you will see that many people are going for courses regarding media management, media entertainment, media communication, and all these things. Sometimes it is called the communication courses. A set of courses under one umbrella, under the name of communication courses. Sometimes it is called the media management course. Sometimes it is called the media entertainment. So, different things they are learning during the tenure. But what I want to mention is, it is not mandatory for one person who is aspiring to be in this business that you go through this kind of courses. It is not a mandatory thing. Maybe the value proposition or whatever is being sold is like the way that you trust, that you believe that that is the only way and this is the thing you have to do to be in that business. But I will suggest it's always better to go to a proper business course where you learn everything, because it's always good to learn from a broader context. Then if you want to channelize your energy, your time, your resources to a particular industry, then you can do that. In future, if you want to change your industry, you can do that as well. So suppose today you are doing business, you are studying business and you want to be in the media entertainment sector, then you are doing that. Tomorrow you want to be in another industry, but the business knowledge you are gathering, the business knowledge you are having, that is not stale, that is not obsolete, that is not irrelevant, because you are learning business, the overall thing. Then you know which industry or which segment to cater to. So you don't need to do this. It is not a mandatory thing. However, what you should have is, you should have a knack for movies. If you are in the media entertainment sector, you should have a knack for content in general. But if you want to serve the movie business or the cinema business, you should have a knack for movies. That means you should have this thing that this movie will work. Even in the pre-production stage, you should have that decision making ability, whether this script is going to be a blockbuster, whether this script is going to make its mark. Now then too, you are catering to a segment, or you can be a visionary who is going beyond what is existing, and you are focusing on the product, and you know that the product is going to influence a lot of people, it is going to inspire a lot of people, so it is going to be a blockbuster anyway, or maybe an all-time blockbuster. Maybe an ATBB, we call it, all-time blockbuster. But before actually making the movie, you, with your business expertise, with your wisdom, with your understanding of the marketplace, you know that this movie is going to make its mark, and it is going to be a great venture itself. If I talk about the movie itself, and then you want to look for distribution, because distribution is one thing where many people are having advantage, because you have a lot of reach, so maybe your content is not up to the mark, but your reach is there. You have the distribution system in place. If you don't have it, if I talk about the festivals, you go to the festivals to find distributors and meet different people for networking purposes. So what you can do is, there are independent distributors as well. So if you have a knack for content, maybe you are focusing on only producing, then what you can do is, you can find a third party distributor who can distribute the product for you or for your company, So you are focusing on the production part, somebody else is taking care of the distribution part. Gradually, when you are becoming a bigger business, maybe I'm considering that you are starting small and then gradually you are becoming a bigger business. You can start with a big business, already the distribution system in place. You don't have to worry at all. Then what you can work on is how you can improvise the content, how you can improve the content, how you can give the customers something, beyond their wildest dreams, beyond their wildest imagination, and they are eager to go for that. They are eager to consume that, because you will see a lot of conflicts, you will see a lot of things, a lot of discussions that movie is dead, cinema is not there anymore, people will not go to the theater. But what you have to really focus on is the content. Content in terms of content, what I mean is, when you are making a movie, you're offering the cinema you are making, it should be made like people are going to the theaters to watch this movie. That cinema experience, that theatrical experience. If you do that, it was there yesterday, it is here today, it will be there in the future as well. Because people are willing to go for stories, people are willing to listen to stories, people are willing to watch the stories unfold in a theater. They want to have that cinematic experience. And if you really do your job well, maybe one person from the crowd will like to be a filmmaker one day. That person can have the business acumen. Eventually, he or she can become a business person as well. But when I talk about the knack for movies or knack for content, suppose you are in the advertisement sector, then also you should have that creativity, a knack for content. So integrated marketing, communication, advertisement, PR, you need to have certain kind of flavor, a flair for creativity, sometimes a bit of flamboyance. You can be introvert, you can be extrovert, but taking all these things aside, you need to have a knack for content. Now again, when you are going for cinema, you should have certain things for cinema. When you are going for advertising, you should have certain things for advertising. There is an overlap, but you have to understand which segment you are catering to. What is required of you, So the more you understand that, the more you can come up with great content. You can serve the customers in a much better way. So that is one thing you need. And if you have the business knowledge, along with that, you have the creative side as well, then you can make a great business out of media and entertainment. So before jumping to the marketplace, what you can have is a really solid or great market research. You can go for industry study. You can study the marketplace. You can study the players existing. You can go for the competitors. This is what you do. If you talk about SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you do that. Environmental analysis, environment scanning you are doing. And that is so important. I cannot emphasize it enough. Pestle, you can do pestle, where you are going for your political, your economic, your social, your environmental, your technological, your legal environment, and you are looking at all those things, and then you are coming up with your offering. These are the things we do when we are doing environmental scanning. And then one thing you should understand is, you should have great professionalism. You should have great professionalism, because this is one thing where many people are lacking talent. Because when you have professionalism, you will see that it is a part of yourself, it is a part of the company culture, it is a part of the value you are providing to the audience, the culture you are creating in the society itself. So whatever way you are giving your offering, your customer touch points, in every way you have a sense of professionalism, and people are loving that. Sometimes it is so inherent with your company culture, or the creative leadership, or the main leadership of the company, that people don't see it in a separate way. Whenever they learn about the brand, whenever they listen to the name of the brand personality and that sense of professionalism is together, congruent. So that is something you should aspire to. And respecting labor is also a very important thing. It is also part of that. And if you want to deal with it separately, respecting labor, because ultimately when you are in a media entertainment sector or media management, or when you are going for media entertainment and media management, you have to respect your labors. That is your creative force, and they are coming up with so many great ideas, so much creativity, so if you don't respect them, if you don't create the culture of psychological safety, if I will, then your the cultural environment where creativity is thriving, they are coming up with great ideas, and they are not being mocked at for being creative. They are being creative. Sometimes they are becoming totally foolish, foolish ideas, silly ideas, but they are not being mocked at. Rather, we are actually respecting those ideas, differences of opinions, and we know that we have alternatives and we can choose among the alternatives, and then we can go for our content creation. So that is also company culture, professionalism, you're respecting labor, how you are paying them, remuneration. These things are related. But if you have a good policy in place, if you have a good company culture in place, if you have great leadership, sometimes you have to lead by examples, if not all the time. So those things are part of your company fabric or the cultural fabric, because the way you are training, the way you are recruiting, the way you are dealing with your internal team or your employees, external stakeholders, the way you are communicating with them, the way you are building the relationships, all the time we have that sense of professionalism. So that's why I want to emphasize on one thing, that if you have a great knack for art, that is even good. That sometimes it can be even better. You have a knack for art, you have a knack for entertainment, you have a knack for creativity, you have a knack for cinema, and the decisions you are taking for a particular situation or a particular problem statement you are solving, and how to take the decisions from a broader context. So it is always good to go for the set rather than going for the subset. But sometimes, many people will think that, so there are different kinds of people. Sometimes many people will think, why should I go for that business course? Because I don't need to know all those things to run my media and entertainment company, or to be a producer in this marketplace. So I need that creativity skill, I need that economic skill, I need this skill, that skill. So they are going for the subset themselves. That is okay for them. But if you really want to be great in that, if you want to learn everything, because learning is never bad. You can always learn, and then from that you can choose what to use, how to utilize your business knowledge, business acumen. Maybe you are solving a problem, and as you have studied this thing before in the main business course, then you can solve the problem in a better way. Maybe one person is supposed to solve the problem, you can guide or lead the problem or delegate the task to that person in a better way. So it is always good to go for the set rather than going for the subset. But if somebody is preferring to go for the subset, then it's okay for them. But as I said, I will emphasize on this, that you should have a knack for movies, you should have a knack for content, creativity, creative talent, you should respect them, and how you can shape your offering, for that reason or for that situation or for that requirement. That is very important. So that is one thing you can look at. Depending on your preferences, you can choose what to go for. But if you have a lot to give, in terms of business, in terms of professionalism, in terms of creativity, in terms of content, if you have a lot to give, and that you have to serve the customers in such a way that has never been done before, and that you can serve them in a great way, I think the more the better it is. And it is always good to have great conversations with these people, and you will have a community of leaders, and maybe we will go for collective problem solving at some point of time. So maybe it is not related to money, maybe it is not related to a particular situation, but one person is seeking help and you are able to help others. That is also a great thing to have, So learning is never bad. You should always go for that.